All right, join me on page 361, the Go Math textbook. Follow along. When an equation describes the relationship between two quantities, the variable x often represents the independent variable, and y often represents the dependent variable, But that doesn't always have to be the case. It's just saying it usually is. A value of the independent variable is called the input value, and a value of the dependent variable is called the output value. So if we look at these two examples, if we input 2, we would input it here for the x, and then the output, or what we get for the other variable, would be y. Okay, so the y is the output, the dependent variable is the output. Okay, here if we input 4 for x, we would get out a 7 for the dependent variable, or for our y. Okay, let's look at our problem here. A skating rink charges $3 for each hour, plus $1.75 to rent skates. So even if you go for 30 minutes, you still have the $1.75. If you go for 3 hours, it's still $1.75 to rent skates. And then they'll just charge you an additional $3 for each hour. Okay, write an equation for the relationship that gives the total cost y in dollars for skating x hours. Then make a table that shows the cost of skating for 1, 2, 3, and 4 hours. Okay, so write an equation for the relationship and use the equation to make a table. What is the independent variable? What is the dependent variable? Okay, so y, or the total cost, so total cost is the dependent variable because the total cost depends on how many hours you skate for. So the total cost is a dependent variable. The number of hours skating is the independent variable. In this situation. And the total cost, we're going to use y. And for the independent variable, the number of hours, we're going to use x because that's what they've told us to do. Okay. So our total cost, that's our y, that's our dependent variable, is $3, which we can just write as 3, for each, and that's, so for each, that means we're going to multiply. This is just another symbol for multiplication. X, which we don't know, depends, right? Depends on how long we do it for. And then $1.75, which is how much they charge no matter what, just for the skate, to rent the skates. Okay. So the equation for the relationship is y equals, and then I can show 3 times x as 3x plus 175. Okay, so then make a table. So we have our equation here. That's considered our rule. And then we have different inputs for the amount of hours we're going to skate. And we're going to see how much it costs for different amounts of hours to skate. So, for example, if we're going to skate 2 hours, then it's going to be 3 times 2 plus $1.75. And if you do that, you're going to get 3 times 2 is 6, plus $1.75 would be $7.75 would be your output. So if you skate for 2 hours, it's going to cost you $7.75. If you skate for 3 hours, we just plug it in again. 3 times 2, or I'm sorry, 3 times 3, I have a new input now, plus 175. 3 times 3 is 9, plus $1 would be $10, and then 75 cents, so $10.75. And I'll let you go ahead and finish this input. So you're going to plug in, now it's going to be 3 times 4 plus 175, and see how much that costs. And notice, you can also notice the pattern over here on the output side, how much it's going up by each time. Okay. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.